We're back! We're here with more Dubster Dive. Seriously, we'll look at something's English dub and let you know if it's any good or not. And yep, we're back with 7 Deadly Sins. Bet you all didn't see that coming after 2 years. You happy, Di?
No.
I don't know. I've kind of softened up on this series over the last 2 years. I saw a bunch of people label it as their favorite guilty pleasure shonen. I could kind of see it. Because it's like you just can't look away. Now that I think about it, if you remember, we marathon all of Season 4 in a single day. As much as we were complaining about it. Like, we couldn't look away, man.
I mean, I wish I could look away, because my eyes are still recovering for that.
Oh, well, see, you don't have to worry about Dean, because they got the rights to take it away from them. They're not doing these films or the upcoming sequel series, Four Nights of the Apocalypse. So, yeah. Also, before we get to that, just wanted to quickly say, apparently since we covered Sins, Nakaba Suzuki, the mangaka, did do an interview saying that a lot of characters were actually supposed to get murked, but his editors kept telling him, no, don't do that. The 2 main examples he gave were Jericho and Gother. Oh, I wish Gother would die. That actually makes sense on Gother's point of view at the very least. You could really feel it, because a lot of characters in the back half especially feel like they had nothing to do. Or their plot threads was just constantly restart.
And then people had nothing to do in general. I'm Merlin.
Yeah, Merlin just became exposition machine, and again, like, I feel like Merlin was probably another one that might have been supposed to die too. I don't know. But
she would have to have existed for that. Oh.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't have fixed every issue, but it definitely would have helped a bit, because if there were less characters, the focus wouldn't have been all over the damn place.
I know what would fix every issue.
Because Hawk isn't in these movies! Oh, more Twiggle. Yeah, more Twiggle too. But I was gonna say, because Hawk isn't in these films! Holy crap, your fan is... Are you waiting over? Your fan's coming in really bad right there. Okay. But yeah.
I'll turn it off for this.
Alright, so, yeah, 7 Deadly Sins, Grudge of Edinburg.
What the fuck?
Is everything okay?
That's doing something in the background, you keep going.
Oh. Or Nanatsu no Taizai Enza no Edinburgh is a film, or 2-part film, I hesitate to call it that, announced by Netflix at their Japan Festival in November of 2021, and very mixed reactions from people. I distinctly remember that because of the CG trailers not looking particularly good at the time, from what everyone said. Especially when Dragon Ball Superhero was going down the exact same route, and people were like, really? Every film is going to be CG going forward in anime land, isn't it? But hey, Dragon Ball Superhero came out, and people seem to warm up to that. How does this one look, Di, before we get to what studios did and all that?
Oh... It's like a step up from the CGI of Revival of.
Okay, so... It's not... I guess they learned. Just reveal trailer looked off then.
I mean, of course they learned. They took it away from whoever the fuck was responsible for that last CGI.
That cursed by light. But yeah, there was a lot of hands in this film. So first, the studio was Alfred Imageworks. I could barely find anything on them. Apparently they worked on something called Art of War. Way to be an influencer. I've never...
Fuck?
Yeah, I was like, what? And in conjunction with another studio named Marvy Jack, who worked on the Strike Witches film and the Go-Go 13 anime. So...
That explains the CG.
We all know Yoshika's best girl. I said it, fight me. Anyway, the director is Bob Shirahata. Yeah, it's spelled that way, spelled Bob. Genuinely mean that.
Sometimes I like using names like that as a nickname anyway.
It's a nickname, I'm fucking with you. But apparently Bob has worked on things like Konosuba and Fruits Basket, the 2019 one. So, you know, he's got a decent track record. And it's written by Rintaro Ikeda. Ikeda. Who I couldn't find shit on, so...
Takeda is no more.
I am scorpion.
I'm happy now.
Yes. Extremely. Yes, we got... Anyway, part 1 of the film was released in December of 2022. We didn't cover it there, because we wanted to wait for both parts, with part 2 coming out last week. And I am so glad we waited, because just... Small thing now, the ending to part 1 is garbage. It literally ends mid-sentence, more or less.
It is really fucking garbage.
Yeah, you could tell some dumbass, be it at the Netflix up top, or maybe at one of these animation studios had the bright idea, let's cut the film in half, because yeah, each part is 50 minutes, and it really feels like two halves of a film. If anything could be ruined by it,
if anything can lower the score because of its ending, it would be this film if it was just on its own.
Yeah, but luckily it's not. Well, now we got all that out of the way, we could actually get to the plot. So, this film is meant to be a bridging of the gap, as it were, a pseudo-farewell for the sins leading into Four Nights of the Apocalypse. I guess they're the 5 deadly sins now, since Escador's dead and Merlin doesn't exist anymore.
No, he's a horse now.
Yeah, main character Tristan named horse Escador, so I thought that was a nice nod. What, Escador is great. Oh yeah, should mention, if you haven't seen our previous sins vids, link obviously will be in the thing, but yeah. But yeah, so we follow Tristan, Meliodas and Elizabeth's son, who's half demon, half goddess, and I was like, oh Jesus, he's gonna be a Gary Stu and OP as fuck, but surprisingly, I don't think he really was. I mean, he has trouble, it's like, they even said, like, he can barely heal someone now, he can't really Deus Ex Machina them from the dead, or whatever you want to call it.
That's hot.
Oh, man. And yeah, the main villain of the film, Death Pierce, who apparently was in the main series. I don't remember this dude. It has been a few years, to be fair, but I figured we would have known someone named Death Pierce. I mean, you remember Death Pierce, right, Di?
No.
Well, him and his forces lay a curse on Elizabeth that's cursing her to death. So Tristan sets off to save her and ends up running into Bond and Elaine's son, Lancelot, as they have to work together in order to save her and the kingdom of Britannia and shit. So, that's basic sum up. It's what you'd expect from a shonen film. I don't know, I actually enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would, because I thought Cursed by Light was a little too crammed and a bit of a mess because of it, whereas this, it was simple but way more focused. Especially since we only had 2 main characters to really deal with.
What, you hate Hawk that much?
Yeah, Hawk wasn't there. I'm sorry. If you've all seen the very first Sins film, man, that joke with Hawk got real fucking annoying. And then they kept running with his power level shit into the damn ground.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah. Well, let's introduce the characters before we get to them on the cast list. But so, you said the animation was fine. Music, it's same composer, so it uses some of the themes from Sins and some new OST as well. Again, trying to leading us into the sequel series. And everyone knows the Sins OST is great. Come on, the guy to Kill Our Kills music, Die.
No, anything but that.
Don't Lose Your Way?
Your body is dry.
Is that the name of the song, or is you just saying a different way? Everyone knows it as Don't Lose Your Way.
That's the lyrics, not the name of the song. It's I know it's confusing.
I like the main Sins theme. I'm kind of sad we're not going to hear it again. We hear it, like, I think once or twice in these films.
They'll make something else up for
the
next one.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Now we could get to the cast list. First, the director and scriptwriter for the first film was Chris Kaysen, so he's back now. It's not a Steve this time. Yet the script for the second film switched to Marlon Moore? I don't know why, but whatever. I didn't really have an issue with the script. I thought it was fun. as far as the cast list goes, they got everyone back, including Michael, I'm going to retire Mr. McConaughey. But I'm hazarding a guess, Netflix waved that money penis and said, hey, you could come in here for a glorified cameo, right?
Denzel!
Denzel! Denzel Washington! Yeah, the kid's name's Denzel, it's great. But yeah. Or he could, who knows how far back these films were recorded, because I think he only had a cameo in the first film, right? That could be a reason too, I don't fucking know. But unfortunately there was a change. You see, Erica Harlocker was replaced by Erica Harlocker Stone.
You're such a tool.
But yeah, everyone's back. So, no one had a bad performance either. You could tell everyone fit right back into their roles. And, as we mentioned before, the dub is definitely a highlight for this franchise. Bryce, you could tell, genuinely loves voicing Meliodas. Oh, there's that. But as far as our new characters, well, first we have Tristan, voiced by Gigi Torado, who's Kotetsu from Demon Slayer, Sara from Genshin Impact, and Katarina from My Next Life is Villainous. Someone who totally is not very special in the slightest. What are you talking about?
Bagel.
If you see the dub, you all will get that joke. And she does fine. She's starting to voice dudes a bit more now, so going a bit of a mix, I guess. And Tristan's got a deuce personality as a pro tag. You know, they're doing that whole thing where he's hesitating to fight because he doesn't want to lose control to his demon side. And it makes sense, too, since you find out he injured Lancelot when they were younger.
He dead.
Yeah. Hey, you know the cliche. He's eventually going to have to accept who he is and learn to use his demon powers, etc. This movie's not recreating the mold, it's just going with it. Like I said, that's fine. Speaking of which, after him, we have Lancelot, who's... I'm an edgy dick. I have a rivalry, Tristan. What's it?
And who else would they get to voice someone edgy?
Why, Alex Lee, of course, because if anyone needs to be the main of a show, it's fucking Alex Lee. I mean, I'm memeing. I actually really do like Alex. I think he does a good job here. He's Mash in Mashal, one of our other upcoming Dubster Dives. Luke in SF6, and I don't know why I specifically said SF6. Voiced him in 5 too.
Stop going back to Memphis.
And Kazuya and Rent-A-Hooker. Again, also did a good job. He's voicing an edgelord dick. That's it.
Again.
Because he doesn't need any help. I could take these villains on all by myself. Grr. So.
If it's not him, it would probably be Robbie Damon or something.
Yeah. I could see Robbie Damon voicing this dude. And he can also go into a fairy form too, can he? Actually, yeah, what the fuck? We didn't really go over their abilities real quick, so what the hell can Lancelot do? Doesn't he use a bow?
I
thought Lancelot... Yeah, Lancelot...
yeah, he uses a bow in fairy form.
Yeah, and then he also has a human form.
Fire's pretty much homing arrows.
So, does that mean he didn't inherit Bond's greed ability? Or did he?
In human form, he uses a elongated arrowhead as a spear.
Wait, I guess that's different. What the hell does Tristan use to fight then? I know he has the... Well, they keep memeing on it, calling it the quarter counter, because he can't do full counter yet, because he's really weak.
2 swords. And he uses them to fire a variety of projectiles.
Okay, makes sense. Well, yeah, so that's how they fight. But what about our main villains? Well, we have Death Pierce, which for some reason the page I saw credited him as Death Piece without the R. I have no idea why.
And we will now call him that for the rest of the video.
Well, Death Piece is voiced by Ben Lepley. It's Martin time from Full Dive, or Pater from Vinland Saga. And you can tell again, he is having so much fun voicing this dude. He is hamming it the fuck up. So, Death Piece, his motivation is he's basically racist. He hates anything that isn't human. So, fairies, giants, he's rounding them all up to enslave them and kill them eventually. Yep. And that's why he hates Meliodas and Elizabeth. Because, you know, goddess and demon race, etc. I will say that is one thing, though, because they pronounce it Edinburgh instead of Edinburgh. So they went with the Japanese pronunciation in the dub, which is really bizarre if you're looking at the title of the film. Like, wait, why the fuck is it pronounced Edinburgh? So it's a little weird to get used to. But yeah. Again, he's having the time of his life voicing this dude. He's so fucking ham. He's also really damn stupid.
He really is.
Yeah, so obviously we're spoiling the hell out of these films. If you haven't seen them yet, again, go watch them. I'd recommend them, honestly. Yes, I'm recommending Sid's films. You heard it here first. Can't believe I'm saying that. They were just dumb fun. But yeah, so this thing, like, he didn't know that Lancelot was half fairy, but he knew he was the prince of Bond's kingdom. Is it not common knowledge who Bond fucked?
That is pretty common.
Like, and then he's surprised when the Sins show up in the climax and help wipe out his red shirt army, basically. It's like, what? I didn't know the Sins were this powerful. It's like, dude, how did you not? Their tales in this point in this world are legendary with the feats that they've accomplished. Are you retarded? I do love when he's like, we both made the joke when he was saying, he's like, yeah, but I'm going to get my revenge on Meliodas because I cursed his wife Elizabeth. Now he's going to have to sit there and watch her die. It's like, dude, do you not understand how many times he's had to go through that? I'm pretty sure he's used to it at this point. How many times has she died now?
For him, it's only Tuesday.
Yeah, like, holy fuck, man. Because of her curse. I think they broke that when they beat the goddess in the last film, but still a funny joke. But yeah. Well, like I said, at least Ben's having fun. Actually, what the fuck does Death Pierce fight with?
What?
Death Piece, I mean. Sorry, I said his name wrong. I called him Pierce. It's Peace. Definitely.
He fights with a sword?
Oh, so just generic sword kun until he becomes blob monster.
And a chimera making stuff.
Yeah, which he did use to make chimeras. We'll get to them in a second on the cast list. Okay. So, but yeah, now we have his right-hand man, Priest. Yeah, Death Piece over there named all of his henchmen after D&D classes. He's not very imaginative. See, we told you he was stupid.
Oh, are you calling him by his wrong name? Didn't you mean Penis Head?
Yeah, you kept calling Priest Penis Head, and at first I was like, wait, are you saying he's Ermac in the new Mortal Kombat? And then you said, no, that's Scrotum. Yeah. So I guess this is Ermac's distant cousin, Penis Head. But yeah, Priest is the one who cursed Elizabeth, because I guess he can use curse magic. Because he's a dark priest. And he's voiced by Stephen Fu. Jamie from Street Fighter 6. Kaname from Darwin's Game. That's a show you definitely gotta watch. I'm in the mood for that. Who doesn't love edgy battle royales?
And someone who's apparently typecast as people with sister complexes.
We'll get to that in MASH, Shaw. Don't you all worry. Actually, I think
and someone who apparently made really weird fucking noises.
Yeah, when Priest is fighting, he's going the whole time. It is.
I guess those are the type of noises you'd make if you shot lasers out of your eyes.
The sound effects were great, especially with him doing that. I just want to know, what was the direction in the booth? Like, did Chris look at him and go like, okay, I want you to make noises like this. Like a fucking jaguar or something. So yeah. He did a great job making weird-ass fucking noises like that.
I see something in his future.
Yeah, he's gonna be doing those again. I mean, he's already now Asmodeus in Demon School, so he's already having to do like Master Iramakins. Oh no, that's clerical's matter. Whatever. Point is, Steve did a great job. Stefano was good as priest. Now we have Mage. I told you guys, not very imaginative. Voiced by Wendy Lee, who's blonde from Neptunia, and Tauri Suzumiya from the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. And hopefully still Yoruichi when she shows up in Bleach. And...
if only we could be so lucky.
Yeah. So, isn't Mage, like, did you call her Giraffe Woman?
They do have a long giraffe neck, yes.
How does she end up fighting?
By talking people to death, apparently.
Did she use like illusion shit or something? I think when she fought.
And a fog.
Yeah.
But they then kept talking so much that they got an arrow to the throat.
Yeah. She ordered hubris.
They really didn't leave much of an impression.
Yeah, well, it's because Priest is the main one. Like, the next one after her is the first one Tristan fought, who's named Knight. Voiced by Imari Williams, who also voiced Gandalf in this film, a character who's only in one scene, but for some reason is on the main cast list. I don't know why. Yeah, Imari Williams, Zod from Berserk 2016, as I keep having to bring that shit up. And Wild Monkey from One Punch Man. Release the monkey. Also Ruffian Konosuba.
The sad part is in One Punch Man that sounds like an actual character. And it probably is.
I mean, it was listed as a named character. And I mean, Knight doesn't even really, he just grunts and goes, roar. So, I mean, do we even get anything on...
There's not much.
Do we even see how
he
fights?
Giant... just like a typical mindless giant brute thing. Trying to beat people with his stick.
Yeah. Tristan even ends up beating him with the Twinkle Star attack. Dude, that is the gayest name for an attack. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. Like, come on. When you think shonen, like, you've got Fire Dragon Roar, Getsuga Tensho, Twinkle Star. Like, come on, man. And then after that, he uses the Starbreaker, and it's like, you should have led with that one. Starbreaker sounds way cooler, man.
Well, you need to make your attack that's just rapid fire pew pew beams sound lame as possible. Obviously.
Yeah. That's all the major players in this film, actually. I guess you got a Derriere cameo, because, you know,
that wasn't even notable.
Yeah.
What them screaming.
Yeah, and saying, put me out of my misery, because they're part of the Blob final boss monster. But, I mean, there's a couple of new fairies. I don't know if they're going to show up in the sequel series. Probably not. They're on the main cast list, though.
But one is very important.
One of the fairies is named Tyrone. I expect a, big black giant with that name, especially since Bill Butts is on the cast list voicing Giant. Well, Tyrone, voiced by Casey McGillow, who's Giselle in Bleach, and Angel Devil in Chainsaw Man. Something about that sounds really wrong to me. Also, there was young Takemichi and young Mikey in Tokyo Revengers. That just sounds stupid. Whatever.
It was.
But yeah, so
I don't know why you're
Tyrone.
surprised. That voice is not a pretty bad.
When you hear the name Tyrone, do you think small fairy with what, pink hair? Because that is the farthest thing from my mind, man. I'm sorry. Again, these fairies are just there as they were about to be captured as slaves for Death Piece. Oh yeah, there's also a giant named Minika, voiced by Ryan Bartley, which I know. Yes, Sage from Sonic Frontiers. That's all we credit her as, apparently. And Rom from ReZero.
I mean, do you need anything besides those two? Do you want to add JJK on that list too?
Shoka from JJK. There you go. And also the other fairy who's in love with Tristan, Kulumil. Voiced by Lily Key, or Lily Pichu if you want her YouTuber name. Sayu from Genshin Impact, and Yoshi from Nagatoro. So, I don't know. These characters could show up again, so we're covering them here. They might not. Who the fuck knows? But they were on the main cast list.
They like to drop characters. They drop characters like flies.
Yeah. So
someone who seems like they could be important could never end up never showing up again. But someone who keeps dying can magically keep coming back because they're named fucking Hendrickson.
Jesus, dude, Hendrickson's in this film now, and he's like the head doctor of the kingdom now. They might have said that at the end of season 4. Again, it's been a while. But it's like, of course he had to get his Hendrickson cameo in. Someone had the biggest hard-on for this dude. He won't die. Oh, so that means, yes, you get KG. Oh, there's that, I guess.
And just like typical Hendrickson, he has a completely different personality now.
I mean, it has been 16 years, I guess, so you could say he's mellowed out a bit. But yeah.
But it's like, he every time he got revived, he also changed personality before too, so you never know.
Yeah, you never know. But yeah, everyone involved, again, did a good job. That's all I could really say. The ad voice recycling was pretty bad, though. Stephen Fu was a few one-off characters, even though he was one of the main villains, which Priest, unlike Mage and Knight, did get a lot of screen time. Because Priest was the right-hand man. Well, we didn't hear any Alexes, did we?
No.
Yeah, so at least the major mains weren't double-casted.
We only heard some Aethers.
Yeah, Zach Aguilar was a few people, which Arthur does cameo because he's the one that gives Death Piece the Chaos Fragment that he uses to start his whole plan.
Some of those, if you won't notice if you're only used to his regular voice.
Yeah, like when I hear his Genos voice, for example, from One Punch Man, it still throws me off because I'm still not used to hearing that other voice of his. I'm used to his Aether one most of all, or his Tundra one, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, it's basically everyone on the cast list, and you all know how this type of film is going to wrap up. Like, we really don't need to go over the plot. The Tristan and Lancelot end up putting the rivalry aside, coming to, common ground, and taking down Death Piece when he loses control of himself, turning into a blob monster. Which they went with the whole...
Whatever the fuck that thing was.
Yeah, they were going for the whole thing. Remember, he was racist towards demons and everything, but he was using them against their will, so he became the very thing he hated, a mindless monster that needed to be exterminated or whatever, from his own viewpoint. That's what they were going for, at least. And, like I said...
they were going for more than chaos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did get the Chaos Fragment at the end with that Arthur cameo when we saw that, so I guess we still got Chaos. Oh yeah, you got a Jericho cameo too, because she's the one babysitting Lancelot now, basically watching him without his knowledge. I mean, you were the one saying how they played it up like a big surprise, because she's in a full suit or whatever. But you see her use an ice bridge to save Lancelot and Tristan. It's like, who could it be? Who uses ice powers?
Who uses ice? There are so many options. Like, that guy. That guy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I will say about the sins. Gother didn't even do anything in this film. Why the fuck was he even there? You see a scene of him, I guess, working with Tristan at the very start, and that's it. Because even at the end, did he even contribute anything, really? But when Bond and Meliodas show up to take on the army. Oh, whatever. You also get a Deanne and King cameo, if you like those two, I guess. Do you think King was only in his big form this whole time, wasn't he?
No.
Oh. The voice Max was doing made me think he was in his big form. I don't know why.
He's just doing that because it was a time skip.
Okay. Makes sense. This is why I explain these things to me, because I'm stupid. People know this stuff.
No, if he was in his big form, he would sound like he's fat.
No, that's what I meant is, like, muscular form. Not his tiny fairy form, is what I meant. Not his fat form.
It's just his tiny fairy form, but slightly taller.
Okay, alright. Actually, I don't think we got to see what Deanne and King's offspring was, did we? Oh, maybe that'll be in Four Nights. I don't know. I tried staying away from Four Nights because I heard people say that manga is actually solid. And I could kind of see it, man. I actually really do like Tristan and Lancelot's dynamic. I thought, yeah, it's cliche or whatever. Tristan wants to be the good guy hero. Lancelot's the edgelord, blah, blah, blah. You've seen it a million times, but I still thought it worked.
Which means what? Someone's gonna be the freak.
What, out of the group?
Yeah.
Probably. I love the film ends with, you said during the final credits, because you had to tell me what it was, Lancelot walking and Jericho basically quietly following him from behind. You
only see her in the final shot of the credits. In the background, if you look close enough. It's like, yeah, the whole credits is just him fucking walking. You're not missing anything by skipping them.
Yeah.
So if you don't give a shit about credits, just back out as soon as they start.
Unless you want to see another shot of Jericho, if you're a Jericho fan. Right, Di?
I don't want to see a shot of a suit of armor. That's stupid.
I'm sure some people do. I don't know. Just say, but Jericho's worse, Skrull, and Lane's better.
Who the fuck would ever say that?
Anyway. Yeah, so... Anyway, that's Grudge of Edinburg. Is good movies, but yeah, only watch the, together. Do, like, part 1 on its own and part 2 on their own. Like, these would not work on their own.
I know, they'd work much better if they had Hawk in them.
No, fuck Hawk, he's gone. He's dead. No more power levels.
He's mentioned.
Yeah, I think Merlin was name dropped too. But yeah, no, more important things. We got the horse Escanor. So that's all we got. But yeah. Now, as far as Four Nights of the Apocalypse, since I mentioned that, yes, that is getting an anime airing in October. We will be watching that when season 1 is all done. So, yeah, just put it out there.
Because shonens are really terrible to weekly.
Yeah, we go through that pain with Bleach and JJK, so. But yeah, Four Nights of the Apocalypse, real quick, I could tell you all. It's done by Telecom Animation, who are apparently a subsidiary of TMS. And they worked on Lupin the Third, Batman TMS, meaning, yeah, animation is definitely a step up.
Okay, that last whole sentence you were cutting out for.
Okay. So yeah, they're a subsidiary of TMS. Batman, the animated series, they worked on that. Lupin.
Tool Assisted Speedrun.
Yeah, they worked on Lupin the Third, Nagatoro, DuckTales. Basically any major cartoon from the 80s and 90s they worked on. So, I'd say our animation is definitely still above D&I when we get to Four Nights.
Yeah.
Why we keep switching studios every couple of projects, I don't know why.
Being better than Dean isn't much of a milestone.
Well, poor Dean.
Fucking Netflix, let them ruin
Junji Ito again. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I haven't seen Junji Ito Maniac, but it's the same people that worked on Collection, so I don't know. I haven't tell animation, but I know that Junji Ito is known for his creepy imagery. I guess in that sense, it'd be like Berserk 2016, where Berserk is known for its beautifully drawn manga panels, and then you go to, well, that.
My eyes.
Well, overall, man, thought this was like this fun films. I enjoyed these a lot more than I thought I would, because I was like, okay, turn the brain off, go in, expect really dumb shit. I was in the mood for something stupid that would come on here, maybe rant about for a bit, but no, was pleasantly surprised, I will say.
I can't believe you theorized that the problem that it was better because Hawk wasn't there.
Yeah, I'm sorry for Hawk fans. I got really fucking aggravated by Hawk by the end of the main series before.
What's your power level?
Stop asking that. That was literally like screaming that every time.
The joke is all the second you made it.
Yeah. And, yeah, I guess there is one thing you could mention. Tristan, like, they do bring up, because I know someone's going to bring it up, why didn't Tristan just tell the Sins, like his dad and shit, where the villains were when he found out right away? Lancelot even asks him that, and Tristan basically says he just wanted to prove himself. So, they addressed that. But, anything else to add before we get out of here, Di?
That poor giraffe, they didn't deserve that.
Giraffe woman? What about,
wait,
what about the penis head?
Oh, they were a bunch of demons.
If you all seen the films, let us know what you thought and all that stuff. And yeah, I guess we'll be back next time with something else. So it'll be, and we'll revisit Four Nights of the Apocalypse when it's done. Oh, hope you all enjoyed. No spider demons, surprisingly. Oh.
But if you watched it when it first came out, yeah, it is pretty shit in that regard.
You're talking about the ending of part 1? Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
If we didn't get both of them back to back,
it would have been much more different.
Fuck this movie.
Yeah, I'm glad we waited. I am.
That's about it.
Yep. And we can all agree that Jericho is a worse girl, right, Di?
Mm-hmm.
But alright, guys. Till next time. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have a good day.